So this is by Jordan Kong, The Age of Road Rage is Getting Worse. I mean, I guess, maybe. I've barely drove over the last 2-3 years since I sold my car, so I haven't felt it. And obviously, different countries have different level of road rage, yeah.
This guy just got into a road rage incident. Whoa, whoa. This is this Fozzie guy.
Fuzzy guy? Oh yeah, this time. That's so embarrassing. The guy looks so embarrassing, just... And he can't break the window. If that was me, I mean, you know, I'm disappearing after that. See, this woman is strong.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm in my car right now, and the amount of road rage that I come across, the amount of crazy drivers that I come across on a fucking daily basis is actually very scary.
I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal!
Well,
Can I please call you an ambulance?
If you've ever driven or
Unfortunate.
been in a car at all, you've probably experienced some degree of road rage. Whether you witnessed it or maybe you were the ones who got angry, it feels almost unavoidable. Even if you leave early, put on calming music, and try to give people the benefit of the doubt, it still feels impossible not to get at least a little bit angry. So many people cutting you off, merging without signaling, recklessly going 160 zones, distracted drivers, and the sheer pettiness that some drivers have now. These drivers come at you from every direction like oncoming fire, and while you're trying to dodge them all like you're Neo from Matrix, you don't even realize that your patience is gone. It's become so normalized that it might be easy to forget that road...
I'm guessing he's talking more about the US because, you know, I'm sure there's road raging everywhere, right? But I feel like most of the crazy videos you see tend to be from the US, and it's obviously like a continuation of like the overall climate of the country, where it's like not just road rage, it's like people raging and fighting about everything from politics to absolutely every subject, right? You know, in France, I mean, I'm thinking of like the road rage incident I've been in, and usually it's just like, you know, like someone was thinking you were too slow or something, like some guy with a cool car behind you thinking you're too slow, and they can't pass, so they get really mad and they start like getting really close to you, behind you, and just honking, and then when they pass, you know, they give you the finger or something. That's like, I think the worst that I've seen. I've never actually had someone try to fight me or something, you know, and I've never tried to fight someone. I've definitely had like road rage where like I'm raging at someone, but I'm not actually like going after them or something. It's like I'm just, you know, looking at them and I'm like fucking idiots or something, right? I've definitely had that, but yeah, I can't imagine like, you know, actually like stopping someone and going to like try to fight them or break their car or something. I understand that like, you know, the point of rage is that you don't control yourself and like you do something stupid, right? But I'm glad I don't really reach that point with driving, at least, yeah. Though obviously some people drive so bad that it makes you want to like just, yeah, like, you know, like break their legs so they can't drive anymore.
Rage can be kind of bad, actually. 12 million people in the US alone have engaged in extreme behavior like purposefully ramming or getting out to confront another driver. And that's from 2016, a more recent...
Which is crazy to me because like you're messing up your own car, right? I mean, it's either like you're messing up your own car, or if you get out to break the other people's car, I mean, you're getting into legal trouble. So I think as always for me, it's like, you know, with stuff like this, I just think of the fact that, you know, I don't have the money to get sued, to go to courts, to do stuff like that, right? So when you think like that, you do less stupid stuff like this. I just don't have the money to be stupid, you know? Japan law doesn't punish this kind of things properly. Surprising.
AAA report found that it's increased to 11%, and that 96% of drivers have engaged in aggressive driving in the past year. Not to mention the 12,000 injuries and the 218 murders attributed to road rage over a 7-year period. But while
I
most
mean,
people would see this as
if
a
you have a
problem,
gun-
a select few see it as completely justified. If you do something that I don't like on the road, then I'm gonna make it my mission to punish you. You're not gonna get into my lane. In fact, I'm going to brake check you or try to run you off the road. It's
Brake
not
check
just
is
the
the
people who
classic, yeah.
can't drive that makes the roads dangerous, it's the vindictive ones who sees driving like this as only fair. Just to clarify, I recognize there's a difference between getting frustrated and full-blown road rage.
Sure.
I'm not here to say that everyone's a rager. I wanted to make this video because I'm seeing aggressive driving becoming more common. In my home province alone, auto insurance claims related to road
Ontario.
rage are up by 9.2% in the past 5 years. So let's dive in on how road rage got to where it is today.
Which is especially stupid because, like, at this point, the US is a country where, like, most people have a dash cam, right? Because of it's well known that someone might road rage at you and you want the proof that, you know, they're in the wrong. So, like, it's especially stupid to do it. Yeah. Frankly, like, if I ever get a car again, I probably would want a dash cam, even though, again, I think it's less common in France. Yeah.
And see if there's more to it than just control your emotions. Like all good YouTube video essays, let's start with a brief history. The first case of road rage goes back to when cars looked like this in the 1890s.
I'm sure.
They were wildly unpopular because they were a lot faster, louder, and smellier than common horse carriages.
Belching smoke, the thing careened off, out snorting and out rearing the most rambunctious stallion. Chauffeurs of the period, studying how to drive step by step from a book of instructions,
This thing is exploding.
often learn to start before they learn to stop.
It was common practice to carry an actual whip with you to scare off the children and the animals, chickens that's blocking your path. Whenever I see cars like this, I
What?
always think of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Do you guys know this movie?
It's called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I thought you were referencing to, like, Palipicone, the song. Yeah. You know the one.
That's a curious name for a motor car. But that's the sound it makes.
Looking back now, this film was a complete fever dream. Flying cars, a human music box, and this guy. Anyway, by the 1930s, newspapers were already describing the reckless drivers as road hogs or speed maniacs. But back then, the roads weren't as crowded, and driving was still considered a luxury.
Also, like,
And the roads
that is very weird, yeah. I guess you've got to remember that, yeah, it wasn't until, like, decades later that, like, road delimitation were actually made, you know, with, like, a line in the middle and on the side so people would know where to drive, so everybody kind of drove, like, where they felt, you know, for the most part.
weren't as crowded, and driving was still considered a luxury. After World War II, though, highways and car ownership exploded. Commuting became a daily ritual, and traffic just became part of life. And in 1987, the term road rage was officially popularized and I think coined by an LA news station as they were covering shootings that were happening on the freeway. Fast forward to today, where main character syndrome, political tensions, and distracted driving is at an all-time high. Road rage and aggressive driving feels more common than ever before.
Estos aquí. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
Lucky Mount.
Oh my god. Se cayó al piso.
Frankly, like, you know, I check out Reddit all the time, right? As I said, like, the top post of the day, and I feel like it's, like, almost every week there's, like, a very big road rage video of people fighting, right? And once in a while, it's someone getting shot. Yeah, it's got a gun. Exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, you know, in most countries, if someone road rage, like, you know, you might fight, but in the US, someone might pull out a gun, right? So it's like, I don't even want to, like, fight back, yeah? It's kind of crazy. The funniest video is when someone tries to brake check a truck or something. Gunshots, of course, yeah.
The road, aren't you?
truck, little lady?
No, I'm good.
See, because you know you lose.
How do I lose?
Because I will beat your fucking dick into the ground all day.
That's kind of gay, isn't it?
It looks like the dude from Big Lebowski.
I will beat your dick.
As funny as that is, why is it easier for people to get angry while driving? I think there's a quote that goes,
Because it's high tension, right? I mean, you know, I've never really enjoyed driving myself because it's like high stress, right? I mean, you have to be careful of not making a mistake yourself, and you have to be careful of everybody else, right? So I guess it's like high stress, yeah. Yeah.
if you were to perfectly design a scenario to fester and create anger, it would look a lot like driving. And I honestly agree. I mean, personally, I see it as a mix of stress and anonymity, because when you mix high stress, no one will hear me, and anonymity, you bet I'm gonna yell at the idiot who's trying to cut across 3 lanes without signaling and almost hitting me in the process just to get to his exit.
Oh my god.
Now, for some people, their anger can quickly evaporate so long as the offending driver apologizes and acknowledges their mistake, you know, gives a little wave.
You could be driving like a complete asshole, but if you hit me with like a little, I'll forgive you.
But it isn't always that simple. Some people have this idea that retaliation is the only correct answer, that somehow being petty, not letting them merge, I'm gonna speed up to them, whatever it is not just fair, it's justified because they did something to wrong me first. I don't know about you, but I feel more and more people are treating driving as tit for tat. If you do something that I didn't like, then I'm gonna cut in front of you, brake check you, not allow you to merge into my lane, whatever it is, because you did something that I didn't like. Sure, people may understand your crash out if someone wrongs you on the road, but is doing something like this making the roads a safer place? Well, I think on some level, this ties back to our culture. There's an attitude for an eye for an eye, which is pretty human. Like, if you do something to wrong me, I'm gonna do something to wrong you. It's only fair. TV shows, movies, live view sports, they all have this in common. Combine that with main character syndrome and people unhappy with the state of the world, and things can escalate pretty quickly.
Let's talk about a very common problem called
Georges
road
St-Pierre.
rage.
Maybe one of the top 3 like greatest MMA fighter of all time. I mean, if you watch MMA, you know who he is, obviously. Legend.
If someone wants to pass me, I'm gonna...
But like, GSP is not road raging. He's Canadian, and he's just like such a nice guy, so there's no fucking way he's road raging.
let him do it. Why would I resist? If I do, it's just gonna create more problems. It's not gonna take anything away from me. He's gonna appear and disappear in my life in less than 5 seconds. And if you break the laws, perhaps the cops will stop him. Who cares? I'm not his dad. And maybe he's in an emergency and he needs it.
When I drive, isn't my goal to fight other bad drivers, teach them a lesson, get into a ego driving match with the guy next to me? Nope. It's just to get...
I mean, it's not just driving, right? Like for me, I always try to think like that when I start to get angry or rage. I always try to think of like, like what am I gonna lose to do it? Like if you're about to start a fight with someone, if you're about to road rage, I always think about like, I'm going to get hurt, I'm going to hurt someone, I'm going to break someone's car, I'm going to break my own car. And then it's always like, yeah, it's not worth it. Prison is not worth it. Ton of like debts to the government, to the cops, to the insurance or whatever is not worth it. Like, I understand that the point is that a lot of people, when they rage, they literally cannot think. And, it is what it is. But man, for me, it's always kind of saved me, like just the fact that I have zero money. So like, if I do anything stupid like this, yeah, I'm really doomed. Like, that's always how I think. Yeah.
Get to my destination in one piece. Anything else is just a distraction. And yet some people, despite knowing all that,
I still feel like the meme of like, I'm about to turn, everybody, good luck, and the person just like turn in the middle of the highway, right? It's that meme.
They become so petty when they drive that it's hard for them not to retaliate back. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to be petty, you be petty. All the more power to you. In fact, I think being petty can be annoyingly funny between your friends. But I also think doing things out of spite on the road and ego driving, that can be a little risky. I don't know who that other person is, and I kind of don't want to find out if they're crazy.
And again, I'm always saying that as like an outsider, right? Maybe not everybody feels like that in the US, but like especially in the US where everybody might have a gun, like you literally have no idea, right? Yeah. And they might literally just start shooting you and it's a gun and I'm dead and that's it. All over some like stupid, like, you know, someone passed me or something.
I see him still behind me, going through cars, trying to, I guess, like come up next to me. And that's when I pull my phone out and I see that he had a gun. Whatever he's doing isn't right. People need to be aware that something as simple as switching lanes without that person wanting you to can aggravate them and have them pull out a gun on you.
Now, one of the reasons why people are so spiteful and tend to escalate situations while driving is due to immaturity. Drivers ages 19 and below are 4 times more likely to be involved in a road rage crash than older adults.
Hello,
Peer pressure.
It's been a while. Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Inexperience, impulsive decision making often lead teens to escalate the situation more and more rather than just back off. No wonder young male driver insurance premiums are so freaking high compared to every other group. But another reason...
I remember when I was a new driver, I was... Wait, how old was I? It was in 2018, so I was 19, I think. And the price was insane. I was paying 130 euro a month, I think, for my car insurance. When, you know, older people would pay like 70 or 80 or something. It was insane.
Reason why some people find it hard not to retaliate back, I imagine.
no, it's not that. It's an Iron Maiden thing. I'm not in the UK, no.
Is because of the increase in bad drivers. I mean, just think about it. If there's one bad driver every week of driving, then sure, it's easy to brush it off, have some empathy, give them the benefit of the doubt, whatever. But if there's 10 bad drivers every single day, every time you go out to drive, it's probably harder to keep your cool.
What the fuck?
I mean, like, you know, despite all I'm saying, I won't lie, I was never the perfect driver myself. I mean, I did get a speeding ticket once, and, you know, I used to live in the countryside, so, like, I often just maybe booked it a little and didn't really care about, like, the limitation. It was kind of the culture of, like, you know, that kind of small, like, countryside place where, like, you know, if it's saying, do you, like, drive at 30, you're at 50 or something, you don't really think about it because there's, like, very rarely the cops and there's no radar or anything. So, you know, I was kind of, like, not the greatest driver in that way. But again, at least I was never, like, a road rager, you know?
Come on, man, go! What is your problem, man? Do you know how to fucking drive? No. What?
I already spoke about this topic of bad
Honesty is good.
drivers in my last video, so you can check it out there. But basically, there is an increase in distracted...
I don't know if they do that in the US, but, like, in France, when you're a young driver, I think it's for, like, 3 or 5 years, I already forget, you have to put, like, a sticker with the letter A at the back of your car, which is basically saying that you're a young driver, so, like, people, you know, like, expect that you might not drive the best or something. I think it might have been 5 years, I forget, yeah. I don't know if there's something like that in the US, you know, and I don't know if people would care, like, they'd be nicer to someone who drives bad because they're, like, a new driver, you know.
Driving, both of which may be factors as to why the roads might be more dangerous. One, because there are more bad drivers, and two, there might be more people who retaliate against those bad drivers in the form of aggressive driving and, yes, road rage.
It literally only took 1 week before somebody was charged under Utah's newest road rage enhancement driving offense. William Lewis, an individual, was charged in Eagle Mountain this past week. He was allegedly following a young man. Mr. Lewis allegedly accelerated aggressively, followed the other driver, threatened him with a firearm, pulled out a gun during the altercation, and as a result, now this individual is being charged with a third-degree aggravated assault charge.
Now, as much as I want...
And that wasn't the law before. I think that's probably the problem, right? People often say that, but, you know, when a certain type of crime like this happen all the time is that the law is not punishing enough or something. I mean, someone road raging should just never be allowed on the road again or something. Yeah. But I guess that takes someone maybe, you know, of the workforce or something, if that happens, especially in the US where like there's so much distance between everything and not much public transportation. So I guess that's why maybe the law is lenient, you know, people need to drive to get places and, you know, the economy and yada yada. I don't know. Maybe this is a conspiracy theory. I don't know. I just made that up.
To do it, I can't blame bad drivers for everything. Road rage and aggressive driving is often just the explosion and the final spark after a pile of other frustrations that's just ready to catch on fire. First of all, driving demands a lot of mental focus, navigating traffic and dealing with delays. Combine that with anonymity, loud noises, the weather, and poor road conditions, and it's easy to see how driving in the summer and traffic jams are common road rage triggers.
I think thinking back, yeah, like the time I would have been the most likely to road rage was coming back from work. After like a long day of work, you're dead tired, you're fed up, you just want to go home, right? But you have to, you know, drive like however long home. For me, it used to be like 30, 45 minutes, which I know is not even that long for some people, right? But you know, like this is the perfect moment where like you're just really annoyed. You're also like more likely to speed because you're just trying to get home and I don't know. Yeah, this is probably like, I'm sure the statistics would show that most people road rage after like, you know, like after work or something. Okay, I mean, I'm not road raging, I'm just like, I'm just quitting at this point. Wake me up.
405, bro. Shit. Not even moving. Look at that. Oh, man, the fuck?
Throw in the stress and fatigue of a long workday or just personal struggles, and your patience is already paper thin as you enter your car.
We gotta talk how people are driving in this nation right now. People are projecting 1,000% of their feelings into the way they drive right now, and it is completely evident.
And for a small group of people, I feel like it's learned behavior. Like imagine if you grow up with parents or other people you drive around with and you hear lots of yelling, aggressive honking at other drivers, swearing, you know, flipping them off, whatever. That aggression may start to feel normal and they might pick...
I mean, like so many things in life, right? It goes back to parenting. Not everything, people are still their own person once they're an adult, but if you had like, you know, good upbringing, you know, told to control your emotion, taught to, you know, not escalate situation and put yourself in stupid situation like that, you're not going to be a road rager, right? It's pretty obvious, yeah.
Pick those habits up when they eventually drive. The last thing I want to talk about that may contribute to road rage and aggressive driving and just people being angrier in general is poor city design. When cities are built around cars instead of people, driving often feels less like you're going somewhere and more like you're navigating an obstacle course. Confusing intersections, endless construction, poorly timed traffic lights, and bottlenecks all add layers of frustration before you even encounter another bad driver.
I frankly can't imagine that. I mean, I've never been in this situation, right? Most of where I lived has been countryside, but like, I can't imagine being in this. I mean, like, losing hours of your day in this because you still have to keep advancing your car. You can't just stop and go back on foot or something. I can't imagine this, yeah. I mean, that would make me want to never drive again, yeah.
Not to mention long commutes and lack of reliable public transit that keep people trapped behind the wheel for hours, amplifying their stress. Every obstacle we face when driving is just slowly chipping away at our patience. When the infrastructure itself feels like it's working against you, it doesn't take much. Maybe it's one slow driver, one missed green light that just makes your frustration into anger. Speaking of poor city design, let's talk about my home city of Toronto.
A New Yorker visiting Toronto went...
No, I stopped streaming Arc Nights last year. I stopped all of the gacha but Uma Musume last year, basically. I'm not keeping up with any of them anymore, yeah. I was kind of fed up with like keeping up with Gacha, you know.
Off about the city's traffic in a viral video.
There are no left turning lights. What the and you are sharing a road with a monorail train. Oh my god, and the scooters and the bikes. I never felt road rage. Like, mind you, I drive in New York daily. I go to the city all the time. I have never in my life dealt with that kind of traffic.
To add on to everything she said, in the span of 18 years, the city has spent almost $13 billion, yes, with a B, billion dollars, on 17 or I think 19 kilometers of public transit that I think is still not open to the public yet.
That also sounds like
recording.
very little.
Quick comparison. In that same amount of time, Istanbul built a fully driverless 26 kilometers of rapid transit line. Seattle built almost 40 kilometers of LRTs, and Beijing built more than 800 kilometers of rail transit. Now, before we talk about potential solutions,
China.
Here's the scary part of road rage.
Houston police believe this teen unintentionally swerved in front of the gunman's car in order to avoid a braking vehicle in front of her. Her uncle tells me she and two friends were heading to Galveston for a short getaway. Louise Jean Wilson celebrating her high school graduation in May. The 17-year-old with a bright future said her uncle was shot and killed early Sunday morning as she traveled through Houston.
Louise's case is just a scary reminder that, in her own mom's words, and I quote, "You don't even have to have an interaction with the driver that chooses to shoot you." So what is the solution to aggressive driving and road rage? Is there a solution? If I'm gonna be honest, I doubt it's ever going to be completely solved.
I mean, again, it's like road rage is only like one problem stemming from many others, right? I mean, that's the problem, right? It's not just like there's not one solution for road raging because it ties into so many other things, you know? The poor job market, people's lives not being great, the country's economy not being great, you know, people not being raised the best way to deal with their emotion. You know, maybe that's part also of the school system. Like, you know, like once you start digging into something like this, I mean, you know, like if you really try to solve the problem at the root, you uncover all the other problem and then it feels like overwhelming and nothing happens, right? I mean, you might say like, yeah, just have harsher punishment by the law for people who do road raging, but I don't know if that's really gonna do something.
So long as there's humans behind the wheel, there's bound to be someone who loses their temper and explodes. It's been studied for decades now. Campaigns have been tried and tested, and yet the number of incidences are still increasing. Sure, maybe we can tackle the contributing factors around the problem, like the increase in bad drivers, how easy the license exams have gotten, poorly designed cities, but at the end of the day, road rage is often a problem that doesn't start on the road. It's a result of high stress and reacting emotionally, which can be fueled by the state of the world, personal struggles, and feeling like your safety was breached, which happens frequently on the road. Personally, I think the best thing I can do is just control how I react and how I behave on the road, because at the end of the day, I can't control how another person behaves. And I doubt if I try punishing them or provoking them that they'll get out of their car and apologize and give me a hug. More often than not, me punishing them or acting like some sort of street vigilante will probably just make them more aggravated and increases the risk of something worse to happen. It also just ruins my mental for the rest of the day, and why should I give them power over that?
You may be wondering what's so funny. Well, you could laugh about it or cry about it. It's a choice. Someone once said, God writes a comedy, but humans are just bad actors. So today, instead of flipping out, you flip the script. You choose to find the funny. Now, look at you chopping it up, laughing with your passenger, all because
Okay.
you chose. It is hard to remember the heat of the moment, but you do have a choice. The reflex is to want to lay on your horn. It's to want to teach them a lesson. The default is to rage. I mean, people would understand if you crash out. But why give that power to someone who doesn't even know you? Why give that power to someone who isn't even aware of your existence? Why give them the power to ruin your day for even a second?
When anger
Great
and
preaching.
ego takes control of how you
Easier said than
drive,
done,
the
right?
transition from I don't like this guy to aggressive driving and road rage can happen so quickly that some people don't even realize that's happened to them until it's too late. Fun fact, anger is more infectious than joy. But I want to
Sure.
know what you think. Do you think more people are driving angry? Do you think there's more road rage? What do you think causes road rage? Maybe the solution is just a city full of autonomous vehicles. Let me know in the comments. If you made it here, give this video a like, maybe subscribe.
Okay, good video. Good video. I mean, again, as I said, I think it's just, you know, it obviously depends from country to country, but we're talking about the US right here. It's, you know, like the country is so, from someone on the outside looking at the news, it's so insanely divided, and not in a normal way, you know, like people really like hate each other and are constantly fighting and shooting each other and stuff like that kind of way. So it's not surprising that it spills into like road raging. I don't know. It just makes sense. I mean, in the same way that everything else seems to be getting worse, right? Yeah, road raging is getting worse. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Here's the link. Good video. I don't know. And again, for a lot of people, when they start to rage, it's literally like seeing red, and you know, like, you know, I live with someone like that, who's basically literally like, you know, like a violent, always angry person, and the second like they, you know, you don't say something that they like even like the tiniest of contradiction to something they say, I'm not gonna say that they rage instantly, but it's like instantly you are the enemy, and the rage start building, and all they see is like enemy, and no matter like what kind of logical thing you try to say to diffuse the situation, they just don't care. They only like to escalate because they want to feel empowered by being angry and violent, right? And you know, a lot of people on the roads are like that basically. Not much you can do about it, but not engage because, you know, these idiots like you shouldn't get in danger for like these idiots is what I'm trying to say.